Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Offsides Podcast. We a couple short today, but that's okay. We keep it going how it goes. You know what I'm saying? June, how you doing today?
What's going on, man? Just got done watching my daughter play her last softball game. That's one out of two, which makes my time a little bit easier. But other than that, it's a good day. It's a good day. Any day above ground.
That's what's up, man. That's true. That is true. Today was a little interesting, but nothing crazy. Getting back in the routine now that I'm back home. Um, enjoyed just the day, taking it in. Tomorrow I'll probably gonna take care of some stuff, but yeah. But let's get into it, man. So last week, Thursday night game, we had Bengals and Ravens. Another great game, man. Another great matchup. Joe Burrow had 428 yards, 4 touchdowns. Henry had 68 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Jamar Chase had 264 yards on 11 receptions for 3 touchdowns, bro. That dude had a monster game. Ravens came out with the win by 1 point. Uh, I don't know, man. What's your take on that game right there? I mean, to me, the Bengals defense is done. At this point, it's not on the offense. I don't think Burrow's playing great. They started off slow, but I mean, the dude's numbers are ridiculous. And but Lamar's finding the way to go, man. So what do you think about that?
Um, man, I think was it you that said, yeah, I think it was you. They 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 play so good against these teams. The Bengals I'm talking about. They play so good against these teams that we think like, nah, that they may get mollywopped. And then when they play these trash teams that could help them still stay in the race, they play worse than God knows. So, I mean, if they gave Burrow a solid line, this is going when they went through the Super Bowl. We talked about this on Frank Reddin's play call that year. Gosh, it was years ago. We've been talking about giving this man a solid O line, and I don't know what's going on over there. The GM, the front office, but start with the GM. They need to start letting them go one by one. And then Shell, the head coach, man, the head coach, walk upstairs and say, "Hey, my guy, we don't have no offense, no O line."
Yeah.
So, I mean, you obviously see what Joe Burrow could do. Hell, the offense is putting up points, man. Even with him getting beat up. And then as far as the Ravens go, the Ravens they look like a solid team. They just look beatable as well. I think if you go in there with a good defensive plan, you could easily beat the Ravens. I mean, once the pressure is on Lamar, I just think that Lamar doesn't play as great when under pressure. Uh, the only thing that they got going for them are the extra weapons that they do have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, shout out to the Ravens, man. That they when I say they keep finding ways to win, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but they keep finding ways to to look good, especially when they're down.
So Zach Taylor decided to go for a 2 point conversion on the last play of the game instead of going for the extra point tied up and going to overtime. Do you agree with the call?
No, no, man. I think that team for what it's got, unless you completely gave up on the season, that team for what it's got, I think you need some type of momentum going in there and saying, you know what, it's 0-0. I believe in y'all. Burrow has 1 million yards and Chase has 1 million yards. Let's get that 1,000,001 because at the end of the damn day, I believe in you guys. Let's get this going. And I'm gonna keep the momentum rolling. Me, it's just saying 50-50, man.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I despise it, man. It reminds me of the that one game with the Giants. When they went for two.
Yeah.
No faith.
Yeah, I would have kicked the extra. You know me, I'm conservative for certain things, and I would have kicked the extra point, went to overtime because now you're kind of putting the pressure back on the Ravens. Now you've came back to tie it. If they get the ball first and you stop them, it gives you the opportunity. You got to do is kick a field goal and win. So I
Right.
don't know. I would have kicked the extra point. So you got to respect his courage for going for two. Effort at this point when we got to lose. We're 4-6 or 4-5 at the time, and If we go for two and win it, we close it out. Now we're 5-5 or whatever it is. But now you lose, and it's another woe, another loss, another defeat, another thing that you're looking like, man, we can't get right, and we got all this talent because they have talent. Next
Mhm.
year, looking at the fact Higgins might be gone, so who are you going to bring in? And if you're that high up in the draft, what you're drafting? You're drafting receiver. You going O line. You going defense because your defense is struggling. What are you doing? Do you go for the O line O's like trade or free agency, or do you draft in the you take it in college and draft? So a lot of people. It's interesting to see what they're gonna do, man. Interesting to see what they're gonna do with that. I would have went for the 1 point, and Burrow's got 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 3 touchdowns. He ate them up for 264 yards. That's more than half. It's actually it's more than half of what Burrow threw for. It's all Jamar Chase on 11 receptions, bro.
Crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about it like that, this dude was averaging a lot of yards per play. You know what I'm saying? He was looking at what, let's say 264.
Who's covering
He's
Jamar?
averaging 24, 24 yards per catch.
Yeah, I guess the big question out of this game is not even about the Ravens. It's not about the Bengals. It's who was the DB covering Jamar Chase?
I think they went zone for most of the game, bro. And he was getting
Yeah,
beat up. They was getting up in zone. Like I think they would have went man. I was at Man Cave Monday yesterday with my church, and the guy that leads it, he's a Ravens fan. He was like, yo, I looked at the stats. We're better at man than we are zone. We was in zone most of the time, and we got ate up. So
yeah.
they found a way to win. It is what it is. I'm gonna give a shout out to my team for beating the Bears. I didn't pick them to win. I thought they were gonna let me down like they've been doing all fucking season, but they beat the Bears. Drake May looked pretty good. Caleb Williams looked like trash. I don't know. They already fired some people in the Bears. They fired their OC and moved up I think the quarterback's coach up to be OC now. So they made some moves there. They made some moves there. Clearly, I think the coaching's the problem. Bills beat the Colts. Chiefs escaped another win, bro. Chiefs
My
got a
God.
win on a blocked field goal at the last minute, and they found a way to win. They found a way to win. Um, to talk about that real quick during the game, Patrick Mahomes was mic'd up, and he was heard telling the refs about, "Hey, can you let me know when there's a guy close to me?"
Hmm.
Somebody tried to defend it. What's the dude Whitworth, the one that was on the Chargers that not Chargers, the Rams that retired after they won the Super Bowl. He was like, you do talk to the ref, you talk to the refs, and you like want them to let you know, give you the heads up if somebody's not aligned right, if your offensive line is not matching up with the receivers and stuff like that. They try to clean it up. I think there's a difference between me telling the ref, hey man, can you give me the heads up if my O line or my receivers aren't in the right spot? Just because like that, I could look for it.
Like they say, man, words matter.
Yeah, words matter. Then saying, "Hey, can you give me the heads up when a defender's too close to me?" How do you feel about that? That whole
It feels like Kansas City Chiefs. Uh, I mean, man, it sucks, man. It sucks, man, because now it gave me that quick thoughts. Like, what else has been said or done that we don't even know about?
yeah.
And we speculate a lot about being scripted and all this extra stuff, but I mean, now you bring little things like that back into the picture, and words matter, man. And I hope that's not the case, but I mean, we heard it live. I mean,
We did
what
hear
you
it
say?
live. We did hear it live, man. We heard it first on TV, and
Yeah.
the commentators were like, "Yes, Patrick, Mahomes, yes, yes." Like it's crazy, man. To me, um, I don't want to make it seem like it's like this favoritism and stuff like that, right? Because obviously we know that there is a level of favoritism. We know that they want to see these people win. Um, but for him to say it and we hear it, it just proves that there is a level of, hey, let's look out. And if it was me, I wish they could go back and reverse plays, right? So what I mean by that, the Bengals versus Chiefs, that pass interference, that was a bang bang play. Take that away. Bengals win the game. I feel like they should go back, review all those calls, and if those calls are bogus, reverse it, and let's see what your standings are now. Are you still 9-0, or are you 4-4,
Hmm.
5-3? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, if you think about it, they're going to be the number one seed.
Right.
They're on pace. Unless they lose out or they lose more games and Ravens pick it up. The road to the Super Bowl has got to go through Arrowhead. You know what I'm saying? And in the cold. So,
Yeah.
um, I wish they could go back and look at that. I wish they could go back and change to see and what the outcomes would be. And then uh let's see. We said the game of the week with Steelers and Commanders was a good game. Steelers put touchdowns up in every quarter, one touchdown each quarter, leading to a 28. Commanders at 7, 10, and 10, but didn't put nothing up in the fourth quarter. The Steelers pulled out the victory by one win. I mean 1 point. Williams had this ultimate catch that put the Steelers ahead in the game. Um, I've questioned the Steelers, man. I've questioned the Steelers. Do you think that this is something they could sustain for the rest of the season with the schedule they have coming up?
Yes, man. Yes, believe it or not, man. I wasn't a believer in the beginning at all. And even when they went on that little run with Fields and they were in first place, I still wasn't a believer. But the momentum that they have right now has them as a playoff team. And the only thing that comes to my mind is the question that I have for you is at what point do you say, you know what, they may be Super Bowl contenders? Because I mean, the record speaks for himself. They're leading their division. The team is doing a hell of a job. They bring old buddy in from damn Jets. He has his first touchdown. Um, and Russell Wilson is settling in. Like, hey, he just got traded from Seattle. Not like he
Yep.
got traded from Denver. He's looking like he just got traded from Seattle.
Um, Whew, how can I put it, man? No, I'm not gonna go as far as Super Bowl
Right,
contenders.
right, right.
And only because they are going to go through the gauntlet now. I feel they should have lost to the Commanders. I think Commanders should have won that game. I picked Commanders to win. Um, but the Steelers, Russell Wilson's still Russell Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give this man a chance to do something, he's going to do it. And he happened to do it. He had the experience. The defense showed up. They got to win the game at the time they needed, and it is what it is. Um, I will say, can they make a run in the playoffs? We'll see. They're in first place right now. I want to say they're facing. Let's see what they got going on the rest of the season. Hold on.
Can we say Mike Tomlin solidified another winning season?
Yeah, he did. He actually did. Yeah. Well,
I
we'll
mean,
see, right? We'll see
it's
because
crazy.
next week they got the Ravens on the no, yeah, the 17th. So,
Mm.
so this upcoming week they got the Ravens, then they got the Browns, then they got the Bengals, and they got the Browns, then they got the Eagles, and they got the Ravens, then they got the Chiefs, and they got the Bengals.
Good Lord, man.
So
God.
right now they're what, 7? What's their record? Right now they're 7-2.
Yeah.
Let's say they split with the Ravens. That'll put them at 8-3. Split with the Browns, that's 9-4. Split with the Bengals, that's 10-5. Yeah, they got a winning season. You know what I'm saying? But what if they go on a losing streak? What if they lose to the Ravens, Browns, Bengals? Now they're 7-5, having a win against the Eagles, and you go back against the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals. And let's say the Chiefs said we're gonna play our people. The only way that I feel you could beat the Chiefs at this point and on Christmas Day is if the Chiefs sit their people, because that's week 17. At that point, or week 16, it doesn't matter anymore. They probably got the first round bye already clinched. So we're gonna play our guys for a quarter or two, sit them down, and now you go up against our backups. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, he'll get the winning season, but again, what's the winning season if you don't make the run? So we'll see. We'll see because again, you could win the division. You're gonna get one home game, but again, you're gonna have to go on the road against the Chiefs, unless the Chiefs get knocked off in the second round in the division rounds, which I don't see that happen.
And I mean, they beat the Commanders at home,
They did on the road. Yes, they did. They
and
did that.
I tell you, man, the Commanders they were to me the hottest team in the NFL. Um, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. These Steelers are they're so unpredictable right now, man. I don't even know. They're like the most unpredictable record in schedule right now.
Well, the defense was a strength, and like you said the other day, Justin Fields kept them going, and now Russell's in there, and Russell looked like he's doing okay. He just doesn't have to mess up the game. Tucker was no Justin Tuck, not Justin Tucker. Dude from the Giants. He was on the pivot. I can't Justin Tuck or Tuck. I forgot his name. Anyway, he won a Super Bowl with the Giants against the Patriots. He said in that when they beat the Patriots the first time, he was like, "Yo, we was just a good team. Had a good defense. As long as the offense, we knew that when Eli gets in the fourth quarter, he does what he does. It was nothing spectacular. We were just a good team. So once you have that, and he said defense, you put pressure on the quarterback, make him make mistakes, stuff like that. So it's they're on a good position to make a run. I'm not sold 100%. Do I believe a little more? Yes, I do believe a little more. However, it is a rookie quarterback. They don't have a lot of weapons. They're a good team. What are you going to do when you go against the Ravens, who's not a rookie quarterback, who has probably one of the best running backs in the league in the past 10 years, you know, um, with Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Aguilar, uh, Deontay Johnson, who Mike Tomlin kind of said, I don't have to worry about him. There's other players on the team I should be worrying about.
Mm.
So, Mark Andrews. So you're cut now. You're getting a juggernaut that we're gonna see how they really perform, and if Russell can hold up, the Bengals, we know they can put points up, but they can't stop you from putting points up. So guess what? It is what it is. There, you know what I mean? Um, Jaguars lost to the Vikings. That's whatever. Eagles, Cowboys. Y'all ran through them boys, but hey, it was it was an exhibition game. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, man, I hate to say it, man, but that's really what it looked like, man. I don't even feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for that team at all because again, there's only one person to blame, and he's the owner.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
and that's why I don't feel bad for him because of the owner.
no, for sure. 100%. I don't feel bad for them. He's the blame. Micah Parsons made a comment. You and I talked about it. Basically, he said Mike McCarthy will land a job if he's not there next year. He's a good guy. He's worried about the veteran players on the team who haven't won a Super Bowl. And he said something about them putting more work in than Mike McCarthy has put in work. Before I heard that part of the comment, I thought he was okay with what he said, right? But I heard that part of the comment. I was like, ooh, you have to say that part. What's your take on what Micah Parsons said?
Man, I 100% agree. Like, oh gosh, I forgot his name. I put the clip on our podcast chat. Um, the analyst, uh,
Woody?
Woody. I mean, Woody said it best, man. Like, hey, you got to give that man his respect. He has a Super Bowl under his belt, and you haven't played the last 4 or 5 games, and then you come in here and then you talk all that noise, knowing what you guys are down, knowing that you're down a quarterback. Out of all people, you're down a quarterback. Um, you're down a receiver. You don't have the weapons that you think you need, or think you have. So I mean, utilizing that's another one, man. Choose your words wisely, because you have a podcast that's blowing up. In my opinion, it is D'Amica. His podcast is blowing up. There's a lot of listeners, and um, I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. Now, if he goes back and he clears it up, how he does it, it'll be interesting. But don't like it, man. We already know you guys suck, bro. Don't blame the head coach though. You
Yeah.
know, It's a team L. And if that's how you feel, keep it in the locker room.
Yep. No, no, for real. If that's how you feel, go talk to the head coach.
Right.
Tell him, yo, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Um, so then the last game, well, we're not going to talk about Jets and Cardinals, but hey, 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 hey. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, the god of football. You need to retire. Lions and Texans. That was Sunday night game. That was a great game. I turned it off to spend time with the wife, and I see Brees text that they came back and won. We're gonna have to talk about it, and I wanna give it its dedication. So we're gonna put a pause on that. The Monday night Dolphins Rams. Dolphins pull out the win. I thought Rams were gonna win. I'm surprised Dolphins did. There was a flag they threw on defense when Tua threw an interception. The defender was running. Tua dove forward to hit him, and the defender trying to jump over him ended up hitting him in the head by accident. I don't think it was intentional. They threw a flag, unnecessary roughness. They still kept the turnover, but they pushed them back. Do you agree with that call or no?
I don't agree with that call. Um, I mean, the way that Tua went down is almost asking for another way out, you know? And when I seen it happen, I was like, oh my God, here we go. Honestly, I as a fan, I looked at his hands immediately because he got kneed, he went down, and then I was like, oh, his hands, he's about to do it. But he did. He got back up and he smacked his helmet because he was mad. But I was happy on that aspect of things. You know, we don't want to see people like that get hurt, man.
Yeah.
So as a fan, I was like, damn, I put her away. As a fan, I was like, damn, man, come on, my guy. Poor decision from you, man. Tua, you know better. And he's been playing great. It ain't like he's been playing like trash. He has great numbers. He's been making great decisions, except that one. That one could have cost you your career, your life. So that was very dumb of you. And the play and the flag, man. As much as you hate to see it, ref, he didn't do anything wrong, man. He can't control the momentum.
Yeah, I don't like the flag. I was at the Man Cave Monday with the church thing, man, and I I didn't want to be like, oh man, that's bully. So I kind of,
Yeah,
kept my mouth shut. But I was looking at it, man. I'm like, bro, why are we throwing a flag when he dove at his, he dove forward. He's first off, Tua, what you're at stake of happening. You know what I'm saying? You know that one hit, one more something happening to you, you're probably gonna be out the game, and it is what it is, right? So why are you sitting here and diving forward and putting, and this is again, he chose to come back. So what? Every time he gets hit in the head, we're gonna throw a flag if it's not intentional. If it's intentional, throw the flag by all means.
right.
But he chose to come back. So why are we penalizing the team? The guy tried to jump over him. He tried to jump over. He probably wasn't as athletic as he thought. You know what I'm saying? The leg caught. It is what it is. But he wasn't trying to hit him. He actually tried to dive forward. Jump over him not to hit him. So I don't know, man. I don't like the call. I think the call was garbage. Again, let's stop protecting people. He chose to come back. He
Yeah,
chose to
yeah.
come
So what are
back.
you gonna do? You're not gonna sack him. You're
Yeah,
gonna be afraid to sack him because it's gonna be unnecessary roughness.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you hit him too hard. No, he chose to come back. Let him get hit. Let him play. It is what it is. All right. We talked about the Micah stuff. We covered. All right, let's talk about the lines, man. Lines were down double digits going into the half. It looked like they was going to take a L. Texans was going to bounce back, and they come back and score 16 unanswered points. Lions beat the Texans at home in Houston, a winning record team, a team that a lot of people had, as winning the division and maybe going into the playoff. Well, going into the playoffs. We'll talk about the Texans. I think they're just going through their woes right now. But the Lions, man, they're 8-1.
I tell you, do you remember when the 49ers, when they were the 49ers and they were running throughout, the entire NFC, dominating last year? Was it last year?
Yeah.
When did they go to? Yeah, it was last year, right?
Last year, yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's almost like they tagged the Lions in, like hey, you got it, because that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like the Lions are very dominant. They're on a quest to say, hey, I don't know, Dave Campbell, David Dan,
You said what? Dan.
Dan, Dan
Dan
Campbell,
Campbell,
you're
yeah.
not bad with name. So,
Yeah.
Campbell, they
You're
call him
horrible.
Campbell. Uh, he must have said, hey, motherfucker, I'm killing all y'all motherfuckers if we don't make it. And all right, hey, he's serious too. He's gonna kill you, motherfuckers. All right, hey, so we're gonna make it. And that's how they're playing, man. They're playing with a quest that um whoever stands their way, they're gonna find a way to win. And the scary part about Campbell, he's not afraid to do anything in the game.
Mm-mm.
I mean, as we all know, I mean, taking it back to his L last year, he's not afraid to pick a play, and that's something you got to watch out for. And it's kind of scary when you're going against that type of, that type of mindset
Mm-hmm.
on a coaching aspect of things. And then golf had a shitty game, and they still. It was like 7 interceptions in that game, I believe. Man, let me hold
Five,
on.
five. I
That's
think
funny.
he threw five. I think he threw five that game. I'll tell you right now, I'm on it.
Five.
I think he threw five. I'll tell you right now because uh let me see. Yeah, box score. Let me see. Golf threw five interceptions to 2 touchdowns. Yo, his QBR was 29. Okay.
What?
He went
And
50%.
he still finished the game and
No,
won.
15 for he went 15 of 30, 240 yards, two tutties, five interceptions, no sacks, QBR of 29. CJ Stroud went 19 of 33, 232. He netted 192, one touchdown, two interceptions, four sacks for 40-yard loss, QBR of 32. Bro, they
Bro.
and it was a rough game because look, Laporta 66 yards, Amon St. Brown only had 60 yards. He didn't break 100 yards. The rush,
I don't even think Gibbs, right? Gibbs either.
Gibbs got 71 yards rushing. He didn't break 100,
Hmm.
and Montgomery had 32. So, I mean, in my opinion, they had a horrible game and still won. Um, Look, man, I think you got to say they're the team in the NFC right now, and they're arguably up there. You could put one or two of them in the Chiefs, and people are going to go with the Chiefs because they're undefeated. That's fine. You can do that. But when you look at the totality of the team, Golf is playing a lot better than Patrick Mahomes this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you look at the stats as season leaders, and let's say singular, it's Joe Burrow with 2672 yards passing, Lamar Jackson 2669, Kirk Cousins has 2634, Geno's number 4 with 2560, Baker got 2505, and Purdy's next after him. Let's see, Golf. But I thought he was doing no. Actually, Mahomes doing better in total passing yards. But if you go to touchdowns, it's Baker, Burrow with 24, and Lamar Jackson with 24 each. Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen with 17. Golf got 16. Patty is number 10, tied with Kyler, Jalen, Brock, and CJ Stroud with 12 touchdowns. And then if you go to interceptions, you got Geno, Sam, Jordan are the top three. Then it's Golf, Baker, and Patrick Mahomes, the next three. They all got 9 interceptions each.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, bro, I think the team is built to make a run and do what they got to do. I think it's gonna be interesting.
I think so too, man. I think that team is it's a solid team, dude. But I'm gonna tell you what, if there's a weakness on that team, man, I hate to say it, bro, because I don't know if you're gonna agree with me or not. It's Golf.
What?
When Golf has a bad game, he has a bad game, right? And what I'm saying is, if you are going into the playoffs and you have those types of games against a team that's going to solidify and make something out of those turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to make it far.
That's fair.
And that's why I said what I said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree there. If you're gonna say if he's, he can't have 5 interception games. If you take away 5 of those, if you take away 3 of those interceptions, he's only at 6 on the season, which isn't bad. You gotta think he was sitting at 4. He threw 5. Now he's at 9 on the season. In one game, he matched what he threw all season and went +1. So I agree there. But you know what I think it is too. What was gonna happen? Not only can he be the weakest link in a sense because of his interceptions or his bad timing of throwing them is when that team doesn't get going. When you don't have Amron St. Brown game going, when Gibbs isn't going, Montgomery, it makes it a lot harder, man, to get that rhythm. Can they sustain? Can that defense hold up? Can until they figure it out, or can the special teams keep punting and putting teams deep without having to work pause, without putting them too close to the front where they can score easily? That's another thing. In the Steelers game, to go back to that real quick, the first 2 touchdowns, I don't think they had to drive very long. The one was a turnover on a muff punt. They got it 15 yards. They got a touchdown. So they were lucky on the special team side on that one. But yeah, Lions to me, man, are the they might have that little weakness, but I think that they're gonna be okay, man. Lamar Jackson continues his MVP run. The team keeps winning. I was hoping James was gonna be on for this one and Pete, because me and you, I know what me and you feel about it. But I'm gonna ask the question. First off, do they go deep in the playoffs? And does he have? Is this the year for him to win a Super Bowl?
I didn't think that this was the year for him to win the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
initially because I thought that his year was last year.
Yeah,
But I do think that this is the year for him to win the Super Bowl. I think that they overcome that hump of the Chiefs, and as long as they don't play in Kansas City, they'll be all right.
they going to Kansas City. Anybody's going. Whoever's going to dethrone the Chiefs is going to have to go into Kansas City. They're going to have to be on the road team. It is what it is, because I don't see Kansas City losing that many games where they're going to lose the number 1 seed.
Right.
Not if Mahomes is healthy. Not if that defense stays strong. That's the strong part of the team is the defense. And you got to think eventually Pacheco's coming back. I think. Where who's the other guy that went out? Man, Hollywood Brown. He might be back. So you got these guys that are buying time and you got Hopkins. Hopkins is only going to get better as the weeks go by. The timing, the rhythm, everything's going to get better. And now you got to account for him. And Kelsey's still Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to come in there. Um, is it his year to win a Super Bowl? I think he has to win a Super Bowl. All right. I think he has to, because what else do you need? Last year you had the number 1 defense. You had a number one, you had the number 1 defense, I think, or the number 1 offense. You had a top 10 defense. Your defense and you lost out in the AFC Championship. But last year, like we said, they didn't run the ball enough. They didn't do what they had to do. They only ran it 6 times against the Chiefs, who were suspect to the run. Instead, you got into a throwing match with Mahomes, which you're not going to win like that. Not saying Lamar can't throw, but that's not his strong suit at that point. Where that's Mahomes' strong suit. I'm gonna throw the ball. Whether it's intermediate, short, this long, I'm throwing it. Lamar was different, and they did. But I think with Derrick Henry this year, um, and we saw the first game of the season. It came down to the tip of the toe being over the white line. That if he would have wore white shoes, nobody would have said nothing. It probably would have won. Chiefs would have been 0-1. But I think this year he needs to win. I think he needs to win, or at least dethrone the Chiefs, because if not, you know what I'm saying? They live in your head rent free if you
Right.
losing to them. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Cardinals, man, they're 3-0 the last 3 weeks, and they made a joke that ever since Call of Duty came out, Kyler's been playing great. But the question is, do they win the West?
you know, I think so. I mean, shit, man. If they're playing the way that they're playing, and they're playing And Kyler Murray, man, he's playing really good. He's playing really good. He's a little weird, fast guy. He got man, he's taller than me. I get it, guys. If you're listening to this, I get it. He's taller than me. He's 5'10" and I'm 5'8". I'm really 5.85, right? So I'm around up. And I'm 5'9", guys.
Yeah.
So, but his legs look so fast when he's running, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I don't know, man. I think they're playing. I think they're playing good football too over there, man. Maybe it's finally clicking.
So look, they've actually went on a 4-game win streak. All right, 4 games. They beat the Chargers 17-15, Dolphins 28-7, Bears 29-9, and then the Jets 31-6. Their 4 losses were to the Bills at the week 1, Lions, Commanders, and Packers, all who have winning records, all who have potential going to the playoffs. Now they got to play the Seahawks, Vikings, Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, Rams, 49ers to close out the season. They're what I said, 6-4 right now. So they're 6-4, man. I mean, they have a chance to win. The next team up is the 49ers. They're 5-4. Um, they're both 3-3 in the conference. So, you know, um, I think they could do it, man. They coming together at the right time. The chemistry with him and Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting better. You know, and like you said, he does run, man. He's such a like. It looks like the cartoons with the legs just spinning real fast. And he's just like moving around like a little kid that stole something from the store. And you're trying to grab him. They got Seahawks kind of, in my opinion, fell apart right now.
Right, right. I thought the same thing.
They're in 2-week losing streak right now. They have two games back to back. Rams just lost, so that's one. I think Rams are okay. I just think the Dolphins caught them good this time. 49ers, we're still not sold on them. We don't know what's gonna happen. They've been struggling. I think they could win it. I think they could win it. If they beat Seattle this week, they'll be 7-4 and they'll be 4-3 in the conference. So um I wonder who they already swept in the conference. Let's see. They lost. They beat the Rams. They beat the 49ers. So they haven't swept anybody. Oh, but I said conference, not division. Hold on, let me see something. I just caught myself. In the division, they're 2-0. So yeah, so they beat the 49ers and they beat the who I just said, 49ers and Rams. So they could split there, but if they beat the 49ers coming up and the Rams, that's they swept them and they play the Seahawks within 2 weeks of each other. Like they play Seahawks, Vikings, Seahawks again. So they can sew it up on the division. They can actually do it. So we'll see because Arizona, yeah, they keep playing how they playing because I think what is it? Yeah, see, San Francisco's 1-2 in the division. They already lost. They already played 3 games and they
Mm.
lost 2. Los Angeles 2-1 and Seattle's 0-2. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes there. What's going to be the outcome of that? Before we go into the Week 11 games, man, you got something you want to mention, talk about, or you good on your side?
Um, and I have the scores up here. Give me a second. All right, here we go. Here we go.
You know that Cooper Rush says that too.
Dude, man, that shit was driving me crazy when he was
I don't
saying
I don't know if that's their signal. You know what I'm saying? Or they kept it up because that was Dak's signal. I don't know, but that's interesting.
that. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to the Panthers for they now have more wins this year than they did last
Yep, that's a good shout out too.
year. Yep. The Vikings, they in my opinion, they should never win that game, man. It's kind of what's going on in Jacksonville, God knows. Um, Very interesting. And then yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just the damn Jags. I'm bringing them up because I live here, and if the plans still go what they were, I think they're shutting down the stadium this year because they got to do the renovations at the end of this year. It's going to take 2 years for them to complete it. Um, but I mean, do they big question right here? Do they come back in 2 years and open up that new stadium with a new franchise quarterback?
Time would tell. Next year would tell a lot. I some people think it's the coaching, some people think it's the players. I can't say it's either or. I think that it's just I think he's in his head. Honestly, I think that Trevor's in his head. Um, I don't know what else you want to give him. He has Christian Kirk, he has Etienne, he has Bigsby, he has Ingram. I forgot what other receivers they got there.
They got an entire defense that kept them alive this entire season.
Yeah, this past game, the defense, and they, Nikki was talking trash about Mac Jones, same thing as Trevor, and to me, you can't say that, and the reason you can't is Trevor hasn't had the chance to play. I mean, not Trevor, Mac hasn't started the games like that, and the first game he starts is against the Vikings, who at one point were like 6-5-0, and they got a good defense, and they're a different team, and you throw them in there with a team that obviously is not gelling, that's not doing well. So, I don't know. Next year we'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised. But the thing is, they just extended him.
Mm,
They gave him this money. Who's going to take that cap hit with a guy that can't even win the division? So they're stuck with him, bro. They're stuck with him. The question is Doug Peterson there next year?
mm,
That's the question. And I don't think he will be. They just paid the quarterback, so they're going to keep the quarterback, and they're going to, how you call that? And get rid of the head coach and bring somebody else in.
mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I just look. I the only reason I took such an interest in the Jaguars was because Nikki was talking trash about my Patriots, and you know, I sometimes wonder why do peasants want to argue with gods, and team is struggling right now, and it's okay, it's fine, but there was a time where, just like the Chiefs, my team they would get their mail at the Super Bowl. You can count on the Patriots being there, or at least the AFC Championship game. And some people snuck a win in. You had Peyton Manning get one, Flacco get one, Big Ben got one or two in that time frame. Um, and Eli beat us twice, and the greatest Eagles quarterback and Nick Foles beat us, one time. So when you look at it, everybody's beatable, but you know for a team that's never had nothing, only really had one good season in 2017, and finally, a fan to talk trash to me is crazy. But the thing is, I know what a winning organization looks like. You know what that looks like because your organization's pretty good and consistent. I mean, you had rough years, but it wasn't forever. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as we know, they have winning seasons. The when not Eli, when Peyton was there with the Colts, they were successful. Um, we've seen them. Green Bay, successful careers, franchise that wins. The Chiefs now. Um, and you see the adjustments, you see the people, you see the team, the rally. Look at the Bears, for example. Caleb gets sacked 7 times in one game by my team,
Mm.
and at one point, it's our defensive lineman helping him up. Where's his offensive line? How do you feel when you get up, when you look up, who's picking you up is the guy that puts you down. Then they tap you on the head like, it's okay, brother, it's gonna be okay. Like, where's the team at? Where's the camaraderie at? Where's the unity at? And I don't see that with the Jacksonville Jaguars, bro. I don't see it. And you know, this week is gonna be a rough one. Not as we transition into looking at this week's games. But I don't know. We'll see. 2 years they open a new stadium. I think they'll keep the same quarterback. It's gonna be a different head coach.
Gosh, man,
Because who's gonna take the hit, bro? Who's gonna take the hit?
I just hate to
Who's gonna
see
take
it,
it on?
man. I really hate. I don't. Trevor. Oh gosh, get him out of there, Jacksonville. I'll put $10 in the bucket. Fuck it. I started, but that's about it.
Um, Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You need to ask that question on the play call. Hopefully, we're all together again and record, so you
Oh,
can
yeah,
you can
yeah.
ask that question. Um, All right, well let's get to it, man. Week 11, we only cover the main games Thursday. We have a good game. I think it's gonna be a great game. Commanders at Eagles. Commanders coming off a loss. Eagles coming off a great win against another divisional opponent. Eagles are favored by 3.5 at home. I know you're going Eagles on this one. I know you are. Um, uh, I think this is going to be another big challenge for Jaden Daniels. Um, I think Washington needs to win this one. If not, you're gonna lose the division. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the varsity team gets to beat up on the JV, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about, quarterback to quarterback. It should be a lesson from Hertz to Jaden, what they call it, a clinic, showing him what it looks like to be a quarterback. So I'm expecting Eagles to pull that one out. Honestly, they're at home, they got the experience, um, but it's a divisional game, and we've seen sorry ass teams go toe to toe in divisional games. So, what's your take on that?
Shoot, man, I think the Eagles got to win this game. As well, man. I think they both. It's a toss up out there. Obviously, it's a divisional game.
Mm-hmm.
However, I mean, we beat the damn. We beat the where we at here, bro? Damn, this thing messed me up. So we beat the Cowboys, right? Um, damn. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So we beat the Browns, losing record, worst record. We beat the Giants, losing record. We beat the Bengals, losing record. We beat the Jaguars, losing record. And we beat the Cowboys, losing record. Those are the last 5 games. So for that main reason, I say we need to cap off this win, not just because it's a division game, but because we're going to be the team that's above 500.
Well,
And
you're in first place right now in the division.
yeah, no, we're first place. But I mean, if we lose this, we'll be in second again. And just because of those reasons, the last 5 reasons, I think is important because we need to start beating 500 and above teams.
Yeah, you don't want to be like the Cowboys last year. The only time that Dak Prescott beat somebody was a losing record. Anytime they play somebody with a winning record, it didn't go well.
Right, right, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm going at with this. It's a little scary. It's my squad, man, but like I said, we got to call spade a spade.
I mean, win or loss, Jaden Downs having a great season. He's got 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's at 2147 yards. McLaurin's having a hell of a season, 47 receptions, 711 yards, 6 touchdowns. The team is great. I mean, they look great. I think this game is going to come down to mistakes made, coaching and mistakes being made. The next game of the week, 1 o'clock games, you got Jaguars at Lions, bro.
Are they coming there or are they going there?
No, they going to Detroit, bro. They going to be.
Oh man.
Oh, anyways, moving along. 1 o'clock games. I guess Ravens at Steelers is probably one to watch because you got Colts at Jets, Browns at Saints, Raiders at Dolphins, Vikings at Titans, Jags, Packers at Bears. If the Bears were playing better, I would think it'd be a better game, but it's not. So I would say 1 o'clock game that I'm probably gonna watch is Ravens at Steelers, man, because this is a big test for the Steelers and the Ravens and the Ravens. If the Ravens go in there and manhandle the Steelers, man, that doesn't look good. That don't look good. What you think?
They're going to Pittsburgh.
Yep, they're gonna be in Pittsburgh. They traveling up.
Damn, man. That's one team that when you travel to their home is like, damn. Um, not don't get me wrong, every home game is like that sometimes, but damn, that team in particular, man, they travel so well and bro, I mean, we were at the game. The Baltimore Ravens travel well too.
Yeah, they
So
do.
we'll see how that stadium looks like this weekend. And man, as much as I would like to say that the Steelers could edge out the Ravens, I think the Ravens win by a touchdown or less.
I think the Ravens win too. Ravens are favored by 3 points.
Hmm.
They're not even the home team, so that tells you. a lot.
Get out.
Um,
Get out.
4 o'clock game. I think the game to watch at 4 o'clock is going to be Chiefs at Bills. Everybody's going to be tuning into that game. Everybody. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the Seahawks and 49ers are at 4 o'clock. Nobody cares. Falcons at Broncos. Nobody cares. They'll watch those games until the 4:30 game comes on, and it's Chiefs at Bills. Uh, Buffalo's favored by 2.5 points. The over under is 46.5 points. And I'm gonna go Bills. I'm going for the Bills. I want the Bills to not. I don't want them just to beat them. Like, I don't want no touchdown 1 point. I want them to destroy the Chiefs. And because a lot of teams they can't complete the task, man. They get up there and they choke. What's your take on it?
I'm actually looking it up unless you have it. I wanted to see what the Bills' last 7 games against the Chiefs, what their record is.
Uh, you talking about like the record Chiefs versus Bills, Bills versus Chiefs?
Yeah.
Hey Alexa, what is the record of Bills versus Chiefs? Damn, 21-27 against the Bills all time. All right, Alexa,
Mm-mm.
what is Josh Allen's record against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? 3-3 against each other, including the postseason.
Dang. So yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good game. The last time that the Bills played the Chiefs, it wasn't this year, right?
No, they ain't played this year yet.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs was in that team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be a good game, man. I'll be definitely tuning in for sure.
And then Sunday night, Bengals at Chargers. That might be a good game. Chargers are favored by 1.5 point. You know, the Bengals could put up points. It's just a matter of who you stop. And then Monday night, Texans at Cowboys. I see Texans bouncing back against the Cowboys on that one. Um, the Texans are favored by 7.5 points. Good night. Giants, Cardinals, and Bucks and Panthers on a bye week, man. But that's it for it. What do you got to say about Bengals at Chargers or Texans and Cowboys? So,
I guess the Battle of Texas. I guess it's
yeah.
Cooper Rush. Well, you know what? At this point, I don't even know Lance or Rush. Well, as far as the Cowboys go, that's all I gotta say. I want to see Lance play the entire game. Because Rush ain't it. You know, Rush has his little stint last year, the year before, but hey, let's see Lance go out there and see what he could do, man, the entire game. I mean, shit. What do you got to lose?
Um, you know what? You have to see what he got at this point. And because you either can get rid of him for something or you keep him. And when you don't want Dak no more, you got somebody to take over. Because like you said, Rush isn't it. Cooper Rush. Again, we're putting too much stake on people that don't get to play all the time. And then you throw them in there against teams that are. Look what time we're in the season. We're already halfway through the season, more than half. Um,
Right.
Fantasy leagues are gearing up for
Oh gosh.
playoffs in the run. So it's like a lot of teams are already stroking. They're already they're already heading in the right trajectory, and you want to come in and now bring a second or third string in to try to win a game is crazy. Um, so I don't have too much stake on it. It is what it is, man. We'll see what's up. It might be an early night for me on Monday.
The Chargers. I haven't watched the Chargers at all like that this year, so I don't have too much to say about them.
They're
Just
six and three,
I don't know.
6-3, 3-1 at home. Bengals are 4-6 with 3-2 away. I mean, Bengals could still come away with a winning season too. They're only down two. Let's say they win this week, they win next week. You're 6-6.
Yeah.
You could have a winning record and it won't be as bad. But the Chargers are winning games. How Mike? What's his name? Harbaugh is doing what he does. Run the ball, good foot. Good defense. Throw. J.K. Dobbins has 670 yards with 6 touchdowns in the season. So I mean, that's pretty good over there. So we'll see what's up, man. But that's it for Offsides Podcast, man. If you don't follow us, follow us. Share, like, subscribe, turn notification button. We'll be here next week. Hopefully, everybody discuss more games. And stay tuned for any comments we have coming out. June, you got anything?
No, no, no. Yeah, look forward to this weekend. Really look forward to Thursday. So hopefully these birds get that dub and we can move on into the right direction and fight these Lions for that number 1 spot.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lions is playing good, man. Listen, they're playing good. But anyway, that's Offsides until next week. Peace.
Peace.